run them out. We got the Raiders in the building and they about to shut it down. Silver and black up in the crack. Raider Nation.
The Raiders left Los Angeles. They went to Oakland. The black hole was created. And then all of a sudden, the team's going to leave Oakland. Yeah. You know, what was your thought process then? Because obviously they were talking about Carson. Yes, they were talking about San Antonio. San Antonio. You know, Vegas was coming into play. And, you know, what were you thinking then? What did you think was going to happen to the Raider Nation?
I always felt that it would be the same because we are who we are, and we travel with that team. So my thought was when I heard San Antonio, I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna have some frequent flyer miles. Yeah, you know, that was my first thought. Carson, I'm like, well, hell, it's still in the hood,
right?
So when it didn't, you know, and that talk about Vegas was going on for about 6 or 7 years.
Yes,
I heard like rumors, and I'm like, Vegas. Why would we want to leave Cali? To me, right. You know. But fast forward, the team moved. 2019 was that final year.
Yes.
And that whole year we knew it was happening. So it was like, let's make the most of these games.
Right.
Because there'll never be that again.
Never.
And you can say it'll never be that again. So if a person never experienced that, all they can do is try to relate to it through our stories.
Yes.
And that's why I'm so big into stories.
Yes.
This is like, it's just more than to me than just buying a ticket, sitting in a seat, cheering yay or whatever. It's about the people you meet along that journey.
Oh, most definitely.
And like I said, we're sitting there because of that connection.
Yes.
So it works, bro. It's real. And like I said, when people learn to put their differences aside, I don't care what it is. Like I found that out in Oakland. Where the Coliseum was sitting, there were 3 different gangs that their territories merged right there in the parking lot. And I've taken pictures with all 3 sets because they were all wearing black. So I didn't know one from the other. People would come up and like, did you know who you? Yeah, he was a Raider fan.
Right.
No, he wasn't. He was so-and-so and so-and-so. Over here, remember, what was it once? Sureños came up a Sureños came up a lot. And I'm like, and that's when I started saying, I don't care who these people are outside of here.
Right.
We're here. They're in silver and black, so I treat them like Raider fans.
That's right.
And I'm sure they can probably tell those stories to this day. I didn't care who they were. It's like, dude, hey, let's make this memory and enjoy your day.
That's right.
That's the way I live day to day, man. You look for the good and everything. That positive mindset is powerful.
It is.
People tend to shut it down for whatever reason, but that's when you really unlock this.
Yes.
When you see the world for what it is, you learn to navigate through all of that. People always ask me, anybody ever try to fight you? I'm like, I never had anything close to that.
I don't think anybody's stupid enough to do that.
It's not so much stupid enough. You know, I'm not to be. It's like, but it's like it's an aura that you carry. It's a way that you carry yourself.
Right.
They know this guy's serious.
Right. But what I'm referring to is not that you're like a tough guy. And
that
you're gonna beat people up. It's about who you're with, where you are.
Yes.
Because the thing is, if there's somebody stupid enough to try and step to you at a tailgate, at a Raider function, or something like that, that will be their last day on this earth. Reason being is because, just like family, if someone was to try to hurt my son,
it's on.
They're gonna feel my wrath.
Yeah,
Same thing with
it's
you.
On.
You know, and because it's more of a family feeling.
Yes.
It's more like, hey man, you're messing with my brother, you're messing with me.
You're messing with me.
You know, so that's what I'm referring to.
That's kind of like our credo too.
Yeah.
You know, but I was brought up this way. My mom taught me never start a fight, baby. But if you're in one, finish it.
End it. Yep. Don't start it.
And that was like almost like a reassurance. You know, I kind of grew up where people said, walk soft and carry a big stick.
Right.
And
you literally do now.
Get out of here. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, my God. Oh, man. But, you know, that fighting spirit, you know, just, and I've gone through a lot. Like I say, I'm disabled, but you wouldn't know it just by because I'm never going to show you that.
Right.
I'm a Raider fan. I'm full of joy. We're at the game. This is the best time of my life,
Right.
and it's one game, one day at a time.
And you know what the beautiful thing about, because you're mentioning about your disability, you know, you walk with a cane. I didn't notice that of you. You know, honestly, I thought you were pimping.
No,
You know, and
In
but
pain.
but the thing is, that has never stopped you.
that's why I say this is so much therapy for me, regardless of what I've gone through. You know, while I've been doing this, especially, this is almost like my Zen mode. If you can call going to a Raider game Zen,
Right.
but it's like nothing else matters. We're here for that team.
Facts.
Y'all could be late on a bill, or one of the kids could be sick, but if they're not like on deathbed, we're at the game.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You know?
sir.
So that's just, and it's people are, oh man, that's insane. You're obsessed with it. No, it's if it's an obsession to you, maybe.
Mhm.
It's just a way of life for me.
Mhm.
And I chose that. I chose to go that way. Like I said, 12-year-old kid, that's where I'm
That was
going.
it. You found your path and you
Found
followed
that path, man, and
Yeah.
it's been beautiful, man.
And you know and I think the individuals that don't understand your plight is because they've never had passion for anything. They
True.
they just kind of they've lived life just going through the motions. Like, okay, I got to go to school, I got to graduate, I got to get a job, I got to get married, I got to have kids, I got to buy a house, you know, and that's just kind of like it's important,
Yeah.
but it's somewhat mundane to where this what you lived, what you're living is out of the ordinary. It's outside, thinking outside of the box, experiencing outside of the box, and knowing that people could have called you crazy, like, why is this man dressing that way?
And they did.
You know, but
They
the thing
did.
is, you didn't care.
They did. I did not care.
You didn't care.
That was
you
mine.
were happy with what you were doing,
Yeah.
and that's all that matters.
I had some things said that I could have taken as an insult, but it just made, like I said, made me lock in a little bit more. Like, oh, you know, the whole pain thing was like, come on, bro, I'm like, look, this brother does.
Yeah.
And immediately they kind of painted a picture for me like, you're in that can right there, and all you do is peep out. I can't go here. I'm a free spirit. I can go anywhere in
That's
the world
right. Anyway.
and have fun. And I haven't been all over the world, but the part of the world that I've traveled, nothing but fun, man. A lot of times with other teams' fans. There's some magic to that, bro.
That's what it is.
So,
man. That is
like
what
I
it
said,
is.
as long as the man upstairs gives me breath and I can still put all this on, I'll be there.
Amen. Here's another question I want to ask you, and one of the ones that I ain't gonna lie, I when I first saw it in 2021, I teared up. You know, when you got the call to get into the Fan Hall of Fame, because mind you, you as an individual, you're getting the accolades, but just like I told Brian from All In Out of Wind, your successes are our successes.
Yes.
You know, you being inducted is inducting the Raider Nation.
To me, it felt
Tell
like I
us
took the nation in with me.
Yes.
And
Tell us that story.
and listen, when that whole contest was going on, you know, I entered a few years, you know, and got disappointed. So I kind of like, I don't have time for this.
Right.
You know, I call it politics.
Right.
So the people from Ford called me up out of the blue, and I'm like, who are you? I'm with Ford, so I'm so and so and so. Why haven't you entered this contest? And I'm like, respectfully, I'm not interested. She says, well, I would like you to fill this out.
Okay.
Now, mind you, I don't know who this lady is, but
Right.
she's telling me this on the phone. You need to fill this form out so you're officially entered. Not knowing that Howie Long had put my name in there. Shows you how that was a 360 moment for me. He was the first player that told me, the team invited me to a post-game dinner
Okay.
at the Hilton in LA to see who I was. Because I wouldn't let people sit down in an end zone.
Right.
we're stomping up and down the bleachers.
Right.
And the adults were kind of resistant, so I would get all the kids.
Right.
Follow me. Boom, 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 up and down. Anytime the team's offense was out there, we're stomping.
Make noise, yes.
We're making noise to where the concession stand underneath, they couldn't hear to take the orders. And that's how I met my friend Auntie. Love you, baby. She's like, what the hell are you doing up there? I'm like, we're stomping. We're making noise. She's like, wow, we can't even hear to take orders. I took that as a badge of honor that we're doing our job. So I've met several of those kids in Oakland.
Okay.
And just to hear them tell the stories and whatever friend or parent was with them, it was just like, wow, this is, hey, man, you know, they were wondering, like, how did you even get in here doing all that? But it's like you become a part of the game on this side of the line.
Right.
And there's an energy to that. So, like, when I watch this, God, Bob almost bit my tongue, the Steelers fans, Packer fans, Buffalo Bills, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
There's an energy there, and the players feed off of that.
Yes, they do.
They feed off of that.
They do.
So, you know, I just went on the Raider fan cruise this last year. So I got to spend a week with Kenny King, Reggie Kinlaw, Jerry Robinson. I mean, a slew of these vets, man, these legends. And they all down to the man said that man, you guys kept it cracking back there. And when the games were tight, that's when we get the loudest.
That's right.
So it's like being an educated fan, being a smart fan, being a responsible fan. Mm-hmm. Even if you got another team's fan by you, when you guys respect what each other is doing, it's symphony in the stands,
it is.
brother.
It
it's
is.
Symphony.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I had experiences like that at Qualcomm, you know, where we would sit. There'd be obviously Charger fans next to us. Yeah. And, you know, as soon as they see us walking in, they'd be like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
But first thing that we would do was introduce ourselves.
Yes.
Hey, how's it going?
Yes.
You know, I'm such and such. You know, I'm a Raider fan. You know, I don't mean no disrespect, but I'm going to be cheering for my team as you are for yours. And, you know, it's respect and it's love.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a sport.
And they got it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the players go home to their mansions, to their big cars, their their luxurious lives. We go back to normal.
Yeah.
So I am not going to be mad at your team for winning.
Yeah.
You know, and be bitter because you know it's a sport. It's entertaining.
It's entertaining.
You know.
Now, even though I still call it war.
Oh, of course.
That's where I'm at. It's war.
On the field, it's definitely
but it's
war.
Still respect.
Exactly.
Against your adversaries.
Just like in regular.
Look at any of the medieval movies when they go to war. They meet up on an open field.
Yeah.
And there's a whole etiquette to that. Before they shoot the first arrow, it's an etiquette to it.
Yeah, they would talk about what the rules of engagement were.
Yes, rules of engagement.
And then see what was going to happen, and then then
the captains would step back to the wings, go at it.
Got to do right.
That's game day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, you were when you were notified of you know being. I don't know.
One of the entrants. It was one of the contestants.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had seen the video that you were being interviewed
by Fox.
Yes.
Yes.
And then Howie Long showed up to your house.
That was a setup. They came to my house 2 days before that. They came the day before, interviewed me. They wanted to see me get dressed and the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, you're going to sit here and run cameras for 2 hours? They did it. That was a whole setup. Even though they got that in the vault, that was a whole setup. So the next day, the director said, we're going to come back and you just be in your regular clothes and we're going to talk about you more in depth.
Right.
Well, that's the day that Howie was on the way out. He's on the phone. Well, his what do you call it? His handler, was on the phone with the director with that film crew.
Right.
They're bringing another film crew with him. So when he gets there, we're talking, we're interviewing, and then I hear a knock at my door. And my neighbors have been peeping out ever since the film crew came.
Right.
And I'm thinking somebody just could not help themselves. And so I ignored it. I'm still looking at her, and she's like, she stopped. And I'm like, just keep going. She says, no, answer the door. We'll start back when you sit down.
Okay.
So I go to the door, and I got like stained glass. So I'm looking, I don't see anybody. And I'm like, somebody's playing a prank. So from where I was sitting to the front door, I kind of flipped into game mode.
Right.
I'm in game mode.
Like, what the hell's going on?
I'm like, I'm gonna give somebody the business. So I open the door up, and as soon as I open the door, I see a boom mic, and I'm like, oh. So before I kind of looked at the boom mic. Howie had hid behind where my garage is. He spins around in his gold jacket. My knees buckled.
Oh man!
I stuttered I'm like, oh man, quit playing. That's when I knew they had got me. I had no idea, and he was just smiling. So he comes through, he walks through my house, and he's like, wow, you got a nice museum here. And I'm like, hey man, this is the crib, you know. So we go out back and we sit on my patio. First thing I'm thinking, damn, I need a cigar. And I told him, I says, I know they probably won't let you, but we need to have cigars. He's like, no, they won't let me. Let's just. So we sit there and he talked to me about the whole journey.
Here today to pay it forward to Wayne, getting ready to knock on his door. Let's do it.
Some of my favorite Hall of Famers, Howie Long, Marcus Allen. I'll knock at my door. Oh, man, I can't in the middle of tape.
Hey, Wayne.
Come on, man.
Come on out, man.
Quit playing.
I got something to tell you.
Are you kidding me, dude? He's standing in a gold jacket. Come on, dude. That just blew me away.
I am honored to be here today to nominate you to the Ford Hall of Fans. How about that?
Dang, man. I was just talking about you, man.
Really?
Imagine that. You got Howie Long at my place. Nobody would ever believe it.
You know, I'm partial. I think our fans are as great as any fans, and he certainly is kind of the poster child for that.
All pro right here.
When this thing is over, you come in the studio and be my guest.
Dude.
Yeah.
Honored, man.
I hope you get that second knock in Tampa. I'll see you, partner, down
Appreciate
the road.
it.
All right.
Him hearing me in the stands behind him.
Right.
And he says, yeah, me and Towns were always like, yeah, they're here. And when I met him at the dinner, he was the first player, came over and said, keep doing what you're doing. I see that the media kind of follows you around.
Right. And
he says, one day they're going to eat that up. And I'd already talked with Steve Sable from NFL Films about that dressing. He says, man, that gives us something else to focus on other than the game. He called it the color.
Right.
He says, what you do and what the team is doing, that's like a flag. You're tying all that fabric together.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, so I watched that over the years, how they did that. And I'm like, wow. And like I say, that wasn't a thing in L.A., man. I think there was 2 brothers or 3 brothers that wore sombreros. They sit right over the tunnel. I remember them. I remember Gypsy Boots, the rainbow guy. You know, we met. And matter of fact, he started sitting in the end zone, you know, where he could do his thing.
Right.
But that wasn't a big thing. And I'm like, nobody has that kind of imagination. That's me thinking.
Right.
Because the actors that I was sitting around, it's like, nah, we don't even want to be seen. And I'm like, why would you come here to hide?
Especially in L.A.
In L.A. I'm like, man, that's why I say I knew who Henry was. I'm like, well, I know he probably ain't going to get up, and wish they didn't, but we were just that rowdy bunch, and they were like, wow, Doc, you guys are too intense. How'd you too intense for a football game?
Right.
So it just kind of, in my mind, I'm saying, you know what? If that they're noticing it, I'm on the right path. But it was just about having fun, rooting the hell for your team, knowing when to shut up and knowing when to get loud.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we're trying to teach the Vegas crowd right now.
Yes.
Even though there's a total different entertainment aspect of it.
Yes.
More so than we'd ever seen anywhere else. But there's a different fan base too.
Yes.
Because like I said, a lot of the blue collar fans got priced out basically.
Yes. Yes, we did.
I hats off to all of those who, like I say, who ventured to buy season tickets. I said, well, I got to revert back to the will call way, where I just get a game by game. But I've never missed a game. And that's just shit, man. God's got my back, and I just keep going, bro.
Yes, sir. And you know what? It shows every time you're at the stadium. You know, you being there, it's kind of like, okay, it's going to be a Raider game. You know, that experience isn't fulfilled until Violator walks into that stadium.
It's funny you say that, man. I have fans that's around me where I'm standing in the wind. I'm in the wind because that's the only place I can stand up and nobody says nothing. Right. And that was another door that opened because of what I was going through at Allegiant.
Right.
I sit at every section all the way around. And I was always told to sit down, or we're going to take you out after the third time we come down.
Right.
And I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, take me out of the game? What am I doing? And, you know, the people were texting, and I hated when that came about, because I'm like, the people that do that most of the time aren't even watching the game.
Right.
It's just that they don't want to stand up and, you know, let the energy flow, so they want to shut you down.
Right.
Which makes you fight for that even more. I'm like, I'm not going to sit, man. Other than like we're doing. Chilling.
Right, yeah.
I'm not going to sit at a game. There's no need for me to have a seat because I don't need one. And like I say, things work out for a reason. So now I've got a place to stand. I call it the office. I go to the office, man, and we conduct business.
There you go.
But at the same time, I get to educate these, I call them fans with money. There's an edge that you got to have when you step down in here.
Oh, of course.
So, you know.
Of course. And let me tell you, you exude it.
It's you can't do it, bro. Look, that valve, when I leave wherever I'm staying, when I leave, that valve is turned all the way up.
Hey, it's like Big Daddy Kane said, ain't no half stepping.
Ain't no half stepping.
You got to do it 100%.
Yes, sir.
100%.
Yes, sir.
So now we've heard the history of the Violator, you know, how you came to be, you know, your successes, I don't want to call them failures, because I don't think anything that you experience is a failure. There's setbacks. But now, at the point that you are, you know, and the reason why we're here is the V57 cigar.
Yes, sir. We need to pull those out.
Yes, sir. We're going to take them out in a second. All right, Raider Nation. Now we come to the segment for what we came here to talk about. Obviously, we wanted to talk about the Violator, we want to talk about its history, but also for Stogie Nation, we're talking about the V57 cigars. These are the Violator cigars. What we're smoking today are the Maduros. They're 660s. MC Raider, shout out to you, because you're the one that turned me on to the 660s. I used to be a Toro smoker.
Gordos, baby.
But I ended up smoking like 2 or 3 of those in one night, and he's like, man, just try a 660.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they last longer. So after that day, that's what I've been smoking. So shout out MC Raider. So I'm gonna light this one up. It's the V57 Maduro.
That's it.
So would you say that this particular one, it's a full body, right?
Medium to full.
Medium to full. Okay.
Depending on your palate.
Okay. And how did you get started with your cigar brand? Because I know you've been mentioning that you've smoked cigars for some time now, you know, but what made you say, you know what, I need my own brand?
Funny that you said that. I didn't say that. I got approached by a manufacturer on social media that had watched me posting, you know, me smoking various cigars. And it just shows you, man, when you're on the right path, things just come at you that seem magical sometimes. So this guy would send me texts. He was texting me on Messenger, and I'm like, well, I don't know who this guy is. I'm thinking some other, you know, scammer or whatever.
Right. Yeah, let's talk about scammers.
So I didn't give him any time, you know, for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
There we go. So he kept sending me texts. He says, look, a guy of your stature or whatever. Mm-hmm. He said, well, no, here's how he started the conversation. I see you love cigars, and you always posting up cigars.
Right.
He says, you need your own. And I'm thinking, oh, here we go. So I kind of ignored it. He would send me a message every week or so, and I'm just like, wow, this guy's persistent, man. So I finally said, let me just look in it, because I'm thinking if there's a chance, if I say no, then that door is closed for him. So I answered him back, and it just shows you how I call it God's time. Mm-hmm. He was like, oh, you finally answered. I'm like, yeah. So he introduced himself. He says, hey, look, I can make you your own line. And he explained to me what they were. He says, better yet, let me send you the complete set, the different ones. And I'm like, he says, try them out. So then, you know, that's about a 2-week span right there of me letting them rest then
Of
trying
course.
them out one at a time, you
Smart.
know. And so I hit him back, and I'm like, wow, dude, this is pretty nice, you know. So this one was my favorite, the black band.
Right.
That was my favorite from day one. And I'm like, wow, dude, that hit me, man. And about halfway through it, I'm like, oh, yeah. So I go through the other three, and then I make contact. And I says, so what kind of proposition? Because I'm still skeptical. I'm
Well,
like,
of course.
what kind of proposition are you bringing to me? He says, look, I can have you make your own line of cigars, and with your popularity. Now, mind you, now he's probably not a Raider fan,
Probably not.
but he was just saying. And he says, I see you on social media. I'm like, wow, dude, who are you? So he says, listen. So he sent me my first batch. I think it was like 20.
Okay.
And I'm like, wow, dude.
Was it 20 mixed or 20 of
It was
the
mixed
flavors?
at first. It was mixed. So I'm like, wow, dude. So I started to take him to the games
Okay.
just to have them on me.
Right.
Never even thought about moving them. And so people are like, what is that? That's yours? I'm like, yeah, this is mine, you know. Not just saying, hey, look what I got.
Right.
I'm just like, no, yeah, this is mine, you know. I've been blessed with this, so I'm enjoying them. And so I remember the first person said, look, man, how much are they? I said, hey, man, they're $10. Boom.
That's freaking cheap, man.
Now, I'm just saying, but I'm not. It's the best things in life sometimes are not about money.
That's true. That is true.
It was me sharing. I go back to the lady I told you who baked all
Yes.
the time. She worked hard and she sold a complete dinner for $5. But when she finished, she had a knot roll like that in her apron.
Right.
And I'm like, she says, baby, that's cash money.
Yes,
No
it
taxes.
is.
And that just hit something in me as a kid. I'm like, wow. So this guy said, look, you can do the same thing. You know, there's a cost for you, but then you set your own price.
Right.
So I just like, you know, my wife says, look, you don't give them away. Sell them for $10 a pop.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, I'll try it. Because when I first started, I was like, just give me $8. Yeah, she's
Right.
like, look, don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, you're lowballing.
And so I did it, and I haven't had a complaint, man. So people started to buy them. You know, they're not on a website, but when all you do is reach out to me,
Right.
and I tell you everything you need to do, free shipping, wherever, in the U.S., of course. And it's been going on 5 years, bro.
That's awesome.
It's been a hell of a ride, man.
Yeah, I remember we were at Eye Candy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I saw your wife taking out cigars, and I'm like, wait,
Yes.
I see cigars. What's going on over there?
Yes.
Right? And I asked him, like, excuse me, you know, are you selling those cigars? She's like, yeah, check it out. And she gave me one.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, I was like, oh shit, a Violator cigar.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And I asked her, how much are they? Like $10. Here, give me two. And then I try to open it up. Security's like, excuse me, sir, we don't allow cigar smoking in here. I'm like, but 10 feet that way, it's okay? They're like, yeah. I'm like, all right. So I went out there, smoked
That's
it, and I'm like, all right. And I'm thinking, okay, here's another level that the Raider Nation has achieved. You know,
That's what
because
I'm looking at it.
you know, because
Opportunity.
yeah,
Opportunity.
you know, because we know there's athletes that have their own
Yes.
the brands. You know, there's Ocho Cinco has his brand, Ray Lewis has his brand.
That's it.
You know, and
his Ray's teammate, come on, help me. The safety. I think he has his too. But I knew about Ocho's.
right,
And this guy was saying, he's like, look, he told me Rocky Patel did Ray's.
Mm.
So I went and I'm like, whoa, okay. He says, that could be you.
yeah,
And that just, I'm like, here's a stranger saying that could be you. Instead of me saying, oh, nah, I'll say, let's go for it. And like I say, 5 years now, man, it's just like,
Yes,
hey,
sir.
man. You know, so whenever I get back down there, I'm going to pay him a personal visit and we're going to sit and have one. of
Yeah,
these.
have a
So,
stick, man.
Just to
Have a
show you
stick.
the full circle, man. Life, like I say, life is a journey, man.
It
And
is.
your experiences have a lot to do with where your mind is, where your head's at, you know, where your heart is. And these opportunities, man, I couldn't just say, oh, I'm going to go. No, I didn't even think about that. But this guy says, hey, I can do that for you. I call those angels. And
Yes.
I've had several in my lifetime. Just come in, and most time they go out, but they leave you with something that
Right.
you never forget.
But you know what's really, what I think is the reason why this happens? It's, what's that term? When you put out something good, something good always comes back to you.
That's karma.
You know,
That's karma.
and that's, I think, these opportunities that have come into your life, it's because you've put out good vibes, you've put out good energy, so that
Appreciate
energy is coming back
And
to you.
that's my daily attempt, bro. Just leave
Well,
the world a little bit better
Yeah,
than I found.
and it's not an attempt; it's a success,
Well,
because you're
it's
definitely
still
doing
a
that.
work in progress. That's where I'm looking at the mission.
It would always be, always
the
be.
mission continues,
Yes,
bro.
it will
But
always be.
these little blessings, man, like I say, it's just me as a cigar connoisseur. It just kind of like, wow, dude. So when I'm on the patio in the morning, that's what I'm having, man.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, and it's just I reflect and I'm like, I ignored that guy for I know a good 2 or 3 weeks, man.
Right.
It's like this guy keeps texting me, but taking that one day, something just told me answer him back because I started getting curious. I'm like, this guy was not lit up. So when I answered him back, that was the key that opened that door.
That's awesome.
Had I turned the other way, that door would have never opened. So sometimes and that's what I told you about putting your foot in the door.
Right. Just
You
don't
have
let it
that
close.
option. If you don't stick your foot in there and you will let that door close, now you're looking in the window. That's a whole different view than
It
if
is
you were inside.
Inside, that's right.
So
That's right. Tell us a little bit about the cigars itself. Like the construction, you know, because obviously as I feel it right now, you know, they are a really nice construction, not veiny at all. You
Yeah.
know, ash, check it out.
Yeah.
I've been smoking it a little bit, and it's structured. It's burning well. You know, the draw is great. You know, tell us a little bit about the cigars.
they're 660s, like you said previously, all Maduro, from the lightest to this one. They're all Maduro wrapped, Maduro filler, and Maduro binder.
And
So that's a Puro.
they're Nicaraguan based.
Nicaraguan, yes.
Okay, so
There's a one, the yellow band, which is the lightest.
right.
That's a Nicaraguan Dominican blend.
Okay.
So it's a real light and sweet.
Oh, nice.
So like I say, that's for my novice smokers. I
Right.
usually suggest that if they ask.
You know, and that's definitely something that here at Stogie Nation we try to convey to the individuals that watch the show is that cigar smoking, not every cigar is the same.
No.
You know, there are different strengths, different flavors, different notes, you know, and you can't start with a Maduro. You can't, or you shouldn't.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
You shouldn't. Because I've known a lot of individuals that get turned off
Yes.
by smoking
That
a
bad
Maduro
experience,
because
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
too much.
too
It's
much.
it's overpowering.
Too much.
So, you know, I usually recommend a Connecticut, something light, and pair it with something, you know, maybe like a soft drink or a coffee.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, something flavored.
Yeah.
And then there's those individuals that like flavor, like case in point, Max Crosby. You know,
Yes.
he smokes the acids.
Mhm.
You know, those are flavors. Those are not my cup of tea. But you know what? It's okay because he's part of the Stogie Nation family.
Yes,
Because he's
yes,
he's a
yes.
cigar aficionado.
Yes.
You know, he likes what he likes, and you know what? More power
That's
to him.
it.
You know,
and it's respect in that. You know,
Mhm.
like I say, everybody's palate's different.
Mhm.
My palate, like I say, I started with a Dutch Master. That was probably the roughest raw tobacco that, you know, and I still remember that feeling.
Yes.
But over the years that you smoke, I've tried everything. Like I had a guy to tell me, I'm going to shout him out, cigar chairman. He says, you got to smoke them all to know.
Yes.
And I took that literally. We would sit at his house. Me and him had a cigar, and he just sharing knowledge. And anybody that wants to learn, be a sponge.
Yes, sir.
You know, don't come in thinking like you know it all.
You don't.
Sometimes it's like, hey, don't try to be the smartest guy in the room. But that's where you learn, when you listen, experience, and keep an open mind.
Yes.
You find out what is good for your palate.
Yes.
So mine, I'm a Maduro. I like the more heavier cigar,
Mhm.
you know. And it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours for this thing, man. You know, if you just like, unless you just like when I'm at a game, pregame, and I get a chance to get one, I'm smoking it for all I've got, man,
Yeah.
because there's gonna be interruptions that
Yep.
you can't control.
That's
and,
right.
You know,
That's
I'm never rude to people. Like they'll come up and I'm right in the middle of a good one, but I'll stop and take a picture and I'll have somebody hold it or either tuck it behind me.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I know they're smelling it. Yeah, what is that? I'm like, you know, so that I sold a lot just through conversation. Like, what do you got there? And I'm like, hey, I'm smoking my cigar, man. This is part of the ritual.
It is.
But it goes back to sharing.
It is. Yeah.
And connecting, and that's what a good cigar is.
Oh, it does.
And unless you sit, like I say, sitting on your patio by yourself.
Right.
But when you're at a lounge, there's going to be conversations.
Oh, definitely.
Regardless of your views, people come to just chill, and they welcome conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And-
that definitely does happen in a cigar lounge, and it's funny that you mentioned that because my friendship with MC Raider started at a cigar lounge.
At a cigar, see?
You know, we were at Bo Cigar Lounge in the city of Bellflower,
Okay.
and my barber is right across the street, which is also a Raider fan. You know, I had just come from getting a haircut, and usually when I get my haircut, I stop off
Go and
at
have a
Bo's,
stick.
get a stick,
Yeah, that's it.
and hang out, right? So then I walk in, and I see this dude just drenched in Raider gear, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to talk to him.
Talk to him.
You know,
That's
so
it.
I go get my stick, get my drink, and then I sit down right in front of him, and we start chopping it up, and we're talking, and we just hit it off. You know, we start talking about Raiders, start talking about cigars, and
Yeah, it's connection.
you know, next thing you know, man, it's been like almost 2 years of friendship, and you know, and we still like I was just at his house, I think about a month ago for his birthday.
Okay.
I took him a little nice gift case of my father's cigars.
Okay.
And
Yes.
he
yes,
loved it, man.
yes,
He loved
yes.
it, and you know, and we still whenever we get a chance, because you know, obviously he's
Like
busy
you say,
now.
the memories.
Yes.
The memories.
Yes, sir. You know, and he's the reason why the Stogie Nation started. You know,
Okay.
because at that time also is when Coach AP, Max Crosby, they started using cigars
That's right.
as celebratory tools in the locker room. So, you know, the term was coined, talk your shit,
Smoke your shit.
smoke your
Yeah.
shit, the Raider way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when that happened, then I'm like, okay, so you know, we kind of went with that. And
Yeah.
that's how the Stogie Nation started.
Man, you just saying that, I just remember that, and I was like, and I was thinking at that time, if I ever get to meet AP, I was going to bring him some of mine, which that happened. It just shows you how you put stuff in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So I ended up meeting him, and I had some package for him already,
Okay.
and I just slid him to him, and as soon as he saw, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to enjoy that later." We were at a function, you know. And just the way he smiled and said it just melted my heart. I'm like, wow, dude.
There you go.
People that know and true cigar smokers, like I said, there's a bond right there.
There is
You know,
automatic.
on the cruise, like we're sitting, like I said, me and the football players were sitting in the lounge, but there's other people in there enjoying cigars, male and female. And it was just, they were magnetized about our conversation. They were on the other side, we were on this side, but they end up connecting with us in that conversation. And I'm just like, this is magical,
Yeah.
man. And as I'm introducing them to these players, and they're like, you know him? And they all said, yeah, we all know him.
Yes.
You know, so that's the brotherhood right
It
there.
is.
And I'm like, wow, dude. You know, I hadn't dressed because I had to dress when I was on the cruise, but they never saw me dressed. They just saw me in the lounge.
Right. Just hanging.
So these guys were explaining to him telling them who I was, you know. And my brother Rilla was there, so me and Rilla just got to soak up that conversation. It's like, bro, this and we're so busy, we hardly ever get to sit and just
relax.
relax, man. It got so bad till our wives would come and find us.
Be like,
I'm like,
"Let's
wow,
go."
we've been in here a minute. You know, you go through a couple of cigars.
No, it happens.
And
Yeah.
the conversation, oh man, but it's the best time with those guys. And even though I knew them, I became closer with them on that cruise.
Yeah, because now you have another common denominator
Yes.
other than football.
Other than football.
You know, it's
yeah.
smoking cigars.
Smoking cigars.
And hey, man, what better than having a cigar with your face on it? You know,
Like I said, it's back to that phantom. I still kind of pinch myself sometimes, but when you look back at it in retrospect, it was I just say it was meant to be.
Mhm.
I delayed what could have been just on my own skepticism. So in life, when you open yourselves up to new adventures or new experiences, You never know where you're gonna go. You kind of get out of your comfort zone,
Right.
and that's what life's about.
It is. You know, it's funny that you mentioned that because I had seen this movie many years ago with Antonio Banderas. It was called The 13th Warrior. I don't know if you ever saw it.
Yes.
It's about Vikings,
Yes.
right? And there was this one phrase that one of the sub characters mentioned that just resonated with me, and I texted to you the other day. It's fear profits man nothing, and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
Because fear is what keeps you from
What keeps
doing
you from
things,
moving.
from achieving, from moving
It will
forward.
paralyze you.
Yeah.
That's how deep fear can be.
Yeah,
and that's your mind.
Yep. And I was like, wow. And from that point on, anytime I would come into that fork in the road of fear, of indecisiveness,
Yeah.
of just not having the confidence, I always remember that term, fear profits man nothing. And
Like-
then I'll just do it. If I
Yeah.
fail, at least I try.
At least you try.
Yeah.
You failed trying.
Yeah.
And like I say, a failure is not a failure.
Right.
It's just a setback.
Exactly.
If you look at it that way. That's the way I kind of look at it, man. You live once.
Yep.
You dream. Like I say, I've been a dreamer since I was a kid. But that imagination, I almost look at it as a gift. It's like, I don't know what I don't know.
Mhm.
But once you go, you got to go to know. And that's like with Raider Nation. If you really want to know about us, come and mingle with
Yep.
us. Hang out with us. Break bread with us.
Yeah.
You find out who we are.
Yep. You know, and being a Raider fan since 1984 myself, you know, I had been a fan, watched them on TV, would go to games occasionally, you know, but didn't truly know the Raider Nation until Las Vegas.
Gotcha.
You know, because I knew of you, I knew of the Black Hole, but the Black Hole to me was a section
Yeah.
at an Oakland Coliseum. That's it. You know, I knew of Olarb in LA,
Yeah.
the original Los Angeles Booster
I
Club.
remember them, yes.
You know, and so I knew that those things existed, but I didn't know it was as tight knit as it is, as big as it is.
It's big.
You know, and once I put myself out there and started, you know, be like, you know what, let me get out there and find out what's going on.
Yes,
and man, it was so overwhelming in a positive way to know that the Raider Nation it's all love. It's oh man, it's such an amazing
It's
thing.
like stomping the yard. That's
Yes.
what we call it. Stomping the
man,
yard.
it
man.
is great. And to think that if I would to go back in time, even a year, and say I'm going to be sitting in a cigar lounge in Rialto with the Violator, I'm going to be like, man, you're stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not going to happen. And look at us now.
That's right.
We're just shit. And
So
why?
you-
Because
you-
we're family.
Yeah.
It's Raider Nation, baby. It's Raider Nation.
And that's where it works with whatever entities, you know, because we're so talented as a fan base. And I always looked at it this way. If we unite all of our wares, kind of like a potluck,
Mhm.
unite all your wares, man, there's a goodness that comes with that.
Yes.
And like I said, you never know what's your story may affect this guy over
Yeah.
here. My story may affect this guy over here, and vice versa.
Right.
That's that energy right there that brings us together.
Yes, sir.
We're fighting for the same cloth, man.
Yes, sir.
It's, you know, I'm sounding barbaric, but
No,
we're fighting
no.
for the same
It's
cloth. man.
it's all facts. It's
Yeah.
all facts.
But that unity part that we keep preaching about is real,
Right.
and it's powerful when you see it. And it, how do I say it, brother? It kind of exposes any spirit that's not about being unified. I've done it so that I can feel that.
Yes.
I can walk in a room and I kind of get that. I'm like, oh, that's some negative energy. And 9 times out of 10, my gut says, okay. And you kind of find that. I call it scanning. What they say, you feel the room?
Yes.
I kind of do that everywhere I go. And it's like, okay. And I've like when I stepped in here in Lovo's today, never been, first time here, hats off to Lovo. I felt an energy when I
Oh
walked
yeah,
in.
man.
I was
loved it.
greeted like, wow. I'm like, okay. So don't judge a book by the cover.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
No, definitely. Yeah. When we walked in here, I saw it. And I'm like, oh wow, this is different. You know, it's not a conventional lounge. But then you came inside,
Yes.
and it was like, oh
Yeah.
wait a minute,
Everything-
check this
yeah,
out.
Yeah.
This feels comfortable.
Yeah.
This feels like a lounge.
Yes.
And then the humidor, you know,
Oh, yeah.
it's. I was like, wow. You know, at first I'm like, I don't recognize any of the rings.
Mhm.
You know, they're like, oh, because they're all ours. It's all our brands. And I was like, wow, that's something I had never ever experienced in a cigar lounge where it's
My
all
first
proprietary.
My first time,
You know,
too.
and it's like
This is it.
that's
but you
amazing.
respect it.
Yeah,
You respect
yeah,
it.
definitely. But now let
See,
me.
that's passion. See,
Yeah.
we were talking about this whole show is about passion.
Yep, it is.
That's passion, bro. So it just, and when passion meets, passion is a positive energy. It can be. It should be. Most of the time it is. But when they meet, it's a vibe. I grew
It
up
is.
in an age where it was a vibe. Everything
Yep.
was a vibe.
It was.
And it's like you don't have to force it to work. It just does.
It does.
And that's what Raider Nation is like to me.
Yes, sir.
Bunch of misfits, but we work.
Yep.
And what let me know that it's real is when you hear the outside fans talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say every time I greet people, I want them to take a little bit of Raider back with them.
Yep. What's that saying? They hate us because they ain't us.
They hate us because they ain't us. I got another one. My saying is get some. So
Yes, sir.
the long part of it is get some on you.
Uh-huh.
So, and that started back at the LA Coliseum. I'm going to infect one person at a time. I know somebody else in here feels like me. And so I always looked at the youngsters. I'm like, give them something where when they come to a game, it's more than just, oh, I'm just going to the game with mom and dad. No, get involved in the game.
Yes.
Put yourself into the game. And that's that energy that we bring, man. So Oakland was the mecca, dude.
Of course.
Hey, when you have the other players and the owners, I've talked to several over the years, and they're just like, wow, this is like an insane asylum.
It is.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I wasn't insulted at all.
Yeah. No, it's I think it's a badge of honor.
But that's what people see. And when you see us, like your video on this, when other people see this, they're like, they may not see me like this, but
Right.
This is me.
Yep.
In this,
Tried and true.
in uniform or out, this is me every day, bro.
And
Thanks to my uncle, man.
Yes, sir. You know, and that's definitely one thing that I think the Raider Nation shows to the world is that we are who we are,
Yes.
and we're not ashamed to be it.
No.
You know,
No.
may it be in Raider garb, may it be in a three-piece suit,
Yes.
may it be
Yes.
you know in shorts and a T-shirt. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
We are Raider Nation.
We are
through and
Raider
through.
Nation through and through,
You know.
bro.
So Violet, let me ask you, back to your V57 cigar. What is a good pairing with, let's say, this particular Maduro that you would recommend the Raider Nation?
Like I said, it depends on your elixir of choice.
But like for you,
But for
example,
me,
yeah.
this pairs good with a nice strong coffee,
Mhm.
or I've got rum right now. Usually I have like some whiskey or something. That's my go-to at home.
Is there any particular whiskey, or is it just the one at hand?
I'm more of a Johnny Walker Black.
Okay.
That's my everyday. You know, I can get fancy and go up to like a Blavine or what else? Blue Label, Johnny.
Okay. Yes.
You know, that's you know,
That's-
that's getting up in the top notch
it is.
area. But it's smooth.
Uh-huh.
It's got enough kick. And then when you pair it, it's just that combination of flavors melting together, man. That's the whole beauty
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed right now with this cigar. You know, you definitely feel the strength, but it's a smooth
It's smooth.
strength.
Sneaks up on you. I call
Yeah,
it.
the transitions aren't like very overpowering, because usually there's some cigars that start off strong and then they get weak. Some the real
Or
good
vice
ones,
versa.
yeah,
They'll start light,
and then they get really
kick.
strong. And then
Yeah.
the really good ones, they stay true throughout.
Yes.
You know, and with this one so far, I haven't really noticed any major transitions. You know, the strength, it's definitely at the forefront, saying, "Hey, I am a Maduro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watch what you're smoking."
Watch that, right?
You know,
Watch how
but-
you treat me.
Exactly, but it doesn't. It hasn't strayed.
Mhm.
You know, it stayed true to itself. Again,
And it's nothing like harsh. Like you can get some that's harsh, that would turn a lot of smokers off.
Mhm.
They don't even get to the flavor part because the strength is too much.
right.
This, like say, I'm going through it now, I'm feeling the kick, and I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I had a cigar once at actually at Bo's Cigar Lounge. I was hanging out with our regulars, and this gentleman walks in. He had just retired from working like 30, 40 years in the post office, right?
Okay.
So he was there to celebrate, buys a box of cigars, and starts handing them out. Right?
Wow,
He's
okay,
like, here, it's
okay.
my retirement party.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, thank you, sir. So I turn mine off and grab his.
Yeah, yeah.
pop it on. I honestly, I don't even remember what it was. That thing was so strong. I had never had a cigar as strong as that one, to where it got me lightheaded.
Yeah, yes.
You know, and I was like, oh my God, what am I smoking? And that, till this day, has been the strongest cigar that I've smoked.
That you've smoked.
And it was just like, the flavor was just really, really strong throughout.
Yeah.
And I couldn't turn it off because the gentleman's sitting right in front of me. So I'm you know, just kind of like smoking and just kind of like, whoa.
It's like having a firecracker in your hand, like you. It's
Oh
gonna
my
go
God.
off any minute, like, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But you know, but there's definitely those cigars out there, and yours, as you know, I've probably gone through a third of the cigar right now. You know, it's been consistent.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's burning great. You know, the draw is still great. It's not getting hot at all. You know, because then there are some cigars that, you know, because they're either wrapped kind of loose, they get hot really quick.
Get to that loose area.
Yeah. You know, and so far so good, man. You know, it's definitely a good.
I
smoke.
love the construction, man. I tell this guy all the time. I give him feedback all the time. You know, and like I say, in my 5 years with these, nobody says, man, I didn't like that at all, man. You know, it's like, hey, man, this is like I say, this is my everyday cigar.
Right.
So,
and you know what? And that's because based on the price point, you know, it is an economical cigar. You know, because like, let's say for example, if you go to like a Davidoff or a Cohiba or something like that, you know, those are like $35, $40 cigars.
Yeah,
you know, I don't have that kind of money
Same
to
here,
be
brother.
to
Same
be
here.
smoking on a daily.
On a daily
That's
basis.
that's a special event, a party,
Yes,
you know, something
yes,
something
exactly.
along those lines. But like this, as what I like to call a daily driver, you know, is definitely good. But you definitely have to have the time, because 660s aren't a short
it's
stick.
it's a piece of
You know,
meat. That's
yeah.
what I call it.
Yeah, you definitely have
It's a
to
piece of meat.
carve up a little time to sit and smoke this bad boy.
And sometimes if, like you say, you get interrupted for whatever reason, you know, I'll let it rest, and say if it's the next day or something, I'll pick right up where I left off, man. You know.
Okay. And it doesn't get bitter at all on you? Oh, that's
Nope.
awesome.
Nope.
Yeah, because I've had some cigars where, you know, I kind of like let them die out, and then I try to relight them, and there's a bitterness.
There's a char in this.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it just kind of,
You
I
wanna
smoke
enjoy
it, but
yeah, you want to enjoy
it's
that. Yeah.
not as enjoyable.
Yeah. I tried that to see if it worked.
Uh-huh.
You know, I had to leave a few times, and I just like, I'll let it rest, and I'll come back, and I'll nurse the rest of that the next day or whatever. And so that kind of sold me on it, man. But like I say, man, it's truly been a blessing to me. It's just like another layer of my journey.
Right.
But when I share it with others, that's when I get the pleasure, man.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
like
sir.
I say, man, hey, this is the first for us. We talked about this for a while.
Yes, sir.
But look, God's time is right.
Yes, definitely. You know, and I am very honored, you know, that you made the time to sit here with me and talk about your
But that's
cigars.
what
talk
family
about
does,
you.
man. To
Yes,
me,
sir.
it's like I'm coming to meet my brother now.
Yes, sir.
I've watched you from far. We've met several times, but to sit down and do this, man, this is like us breaking bread.
Yes, definitely.
So now the sky's the limit.
Yes, sir. Now, going back to the sale of your cigars, you know, because obviously you said you don't have it at retail shops.
Yeah.
You know, it's all
Not
all
yet. Not
it's
yet.
all direct sale. Correct?
Direct sales.
So, like, let's say for example, if there's a member of the Raider Nation in Nebraska,
Yeah.
how do they go about getting the cigars from?
Just send me a DM.
Okay.
And in my social media platform.
Okay.
And that's the way I've been conducting business. Just that
So
way.
no website, nothing.
No website. None
Okay.
of that. Straight from me.
Wow.
If they see me in person, I can't leave home without them.
Of
I put
course.
it like that.
It's your American
Always
Express
got
card.
Got him. So, and the wife like, wow. I'm like, you see, I went to a couple of games
Mhm.
and I didn't have them, or I left them in my hotel room at one of the games. But even when we go to the stadium, I like pack a few of those. You know, they see us a cigar, then pack a few and just run into random people, man. Hey, you got them sticks on? You know, the
Yeah.
V57s. I'm like, wow. So the name's getting there.
It is.
And that's what you want to get known. But like you say, people, like I say, hopefully when people see this, they'll reach out, man.
Oh,
It's
for
just
sure.
like, hey, free shipping in the U.S. And, hey, I get them out to you, man, as quick as I get the orders, man.
And how do you sell them? Do you sell them individually? Do you sell them as a sample pack? Do you sell them as a bundle?
I can sell them individually
Uh-huh.
or the sample pack of each of the four.
Right.
or in bundles of 20.
20. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, can the bundles be mixed and matched, or is a
Any
bundle
way you want.
Oh, awesome.
See, that's the beauty. Any way you want.
That's awesome. Yeah. That I don't know of anybody that does that.
Any way you want, because that's just taking all the restrictions away. You get what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it, man. Like I say, thanks to my baker next door.
Yep.
She
Planted that seed.
She planted that seed. So when
Yes,
I
sir.
say that, I'm going way back. And people are like, we always talk about planting seeds. But that's what it is.
It is. Definitely it is.
And I got that from my mom. She says, everything I've been teaching you, I've been putting seeds in your ear, even though you said you didn't hear it or you didn't want to hear it. She says, you got 2 ears and 2 eyes for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Use them
Use
proportionally.
them. That's right.
So
That's right.
she planted a lot of seeds, brother. Most of my conversation is something that I've heard from her, or she taught me over the years. I'm just sharing that.
That's
And
awesome.
that's how you keep people's spirit alive. You know what I'm saying? So whether she's looking down now, her and Pops, hey, I'm still on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And let me tell you, you are doing a real amazing job of it. You know, because you're making yourself happy. Your path is set, and you're moving forward. But the amazing part about it is that you're not just doing it for yourself. You're bringing so many other people with you.
Bringing people together,
Yeah.
man.
Yep.
That's the magic of it, man.
Yep.
Bringing people together, man.
You know, and that I think, like, I hope in my deathbed, I want to lay there and say, I lived a good life. I did this for these people. I succeeded in this way. You know, I helped in this way. You know, because
There's a saying right there: you leave your mark on society. And I used to hear that, and I'm like, well, you know, until you know what it is, it's just a phrase or words or whatever.
right.
When you actually apply it to something or to the world, you see the beauty in that, man. It's just like this, bro. It's just, hey, I want to do this with as many Raider Nation brothers and sisters as I can, man.
That
And
is
just
awesome.
share conversations and
Yeah.
stories, man.
You know, and that's how memories are created. You know, definitely. Now, let me ask you, when you're in Las Vegas for a game, and because I know you're always busy, you know, they're pulling you here, pulling you there.
Yeah.
When do you find the time to, like, actually be able to sit down and have a cigar?
To be honest, is
Uh-huh.
when I get home.
Damn, really?
When I get home.
Oh, man.
So that journey home, man, is like, that's what I'm thinking about. Wow. And it's not like it's like I got to get that fixed, but it's like I miss that part of my day. And that's
Right.
part of, like I said, that's part of my daily life.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm so busy now, and that's a good thing.
Of course.
And stuff that I never dreamt would happen, but it's happening. So you sacrifice, and that's
Yes.
life. You sacrifice when you commit to something. There's sacrifices that come with it.
Yes, definitely.
know,
is.
And just when I get home, that's the first thing I do, man. Is just go to the patio and just kick back, got my little tunes on, and
There you
just
go.
reflect on the weekend,
Right.
the game, the people I met. And it's not so much about the score of the games. I forget the score of the
Oh,
games.
yeah.
It's the conversations I had,
Yep.
that person that stands out to you that you met,
Mhm.
and keeping in touch with them. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, I had that same conversation with my boy Chris from Protect the Shield podcast. Because we always talk about that we don't drink the Kool-Aid anymore.
Yes.
You know, we don't fall for all the hype.
yes.
You know,
yes.
whatever the team does, they're gonna do.
They're gonna do.
You know, we're not in a year or two from now. We don't remember the score or the particular play that happened in Game 3
yes.
of
There
you
you
know
go.
the third quarter. You remember the time you had with the individuals you were with.
Definitely.
You know,
Definitely.
and that's I think something that we have to take into consideration when we go to these games. You know, yes, we go to support our team, we go to have a good time, but we also go for the camaraderie, for the
Yes.
for the memories.
And that's my biggest thing now is I'm still attracted to that young fan. And they may never see me or may conversate with me 4 or 5 years later, maybe. And like I say, these incidents have happened, and it's just what they remembered. And that's what it hit me. Like, wow, they remembered that.
Mhm.
Like details, like say from the LA days. And I run into these kids now who are adults,
Adults, right?
but they're still kids to me, but they
Right.
remember those particular, what we did.
Yes.
Not the game, not the score of the game, what we did.
Exactly.
That's what it's about.
Exactly.
Brother. When you got 60,000 people going to wherever their destination is and they reflect, that's an energy within itself.
Yes, it is.
So
it is. And let me tell you, it is definitely a great experience and a great thrill to know that individuals like yourself and myself are
Yes.
like-minded in so many different ways.
Yes. Kindred spirits, I
Yes.
call it. Kindred spirits.
You know, the Raiders, obviously, the Raider Nation, cigars. You know, it's like, wow. You know, if I were just a fan from, you know, Main Street, you know, USA, somewhere in the middle of the country, and I would have known a Violator, but not known how many things we have in common. You know, just being able to feel that, to
Yes.
say, hey, man, he is just a normal human being,
Just
like everybody else,
bro. Like everybody else, trust me.
You know, that is so awesome.
But it's the fire that drives you. You know, like Al's torch. That's so special to me, even though it's not the real fire
Of
like
course.
in Oakland, but it's symbolic
It is.
of what he was about. And I just want more people to understand it, especially the younger fans.
Yeah.
So I'm not really talking to them about cigars. I'm just talking to them about the Raider way through my eyes,
Right.
or how I feel it. And it should be uplifting, and inspiring,
Mhm.
and just make them step out of their comfort zone. Like when I see people dressing, like that's become like a phenomenon now with other teams.
It is. It has.
And back in the day, there was a handful of us doing that, and it wasn't the norm. Now it's like the norm, and I love it, man. It's like it's back to that seed.
Yes.
Going back to '91 when I first came into Coliseum, painted up, and there was an old guy who told me I was walking around with 5 beers, Budweiser's to boot, and he says, "Hey," he pulled me to the side and he says, "Hey, man, you got 5?" I got like 2 or 3 and one under my arm. I'm trying to drink. He says, "Come over here." He pulled me over to his little tailgate. He says, "I'll trade you all of that for a half a cup of brown." He says, "Travel light."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and my grandma was a whiskey drink, so it's
Right.
kind of like in the blood anyway. But I never dove into it. Like he says, "Look, you can better gauge where you're at with that one small cup
Yep.
than 6 beers."
That's right.
He said, and "You're going to miss a lot of the game
Mm-hmm.
in that line." You know that line I'm talking
Yep.
about.
Yes, sir.
So it's like, so once I put that, I'm like, for me, that works. I'm like, I can get to the level I want to get and then go. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
So everything we're a real ritualistic fan base. People call that cult sometimes, or they don't understand us.
Yeah,
But it's just like, look, we enjoy it's simple pleasures.
it is.
Look at this. Don't
It
get
is.
no simpler than this, bro.
No, sir. It
but
does not.
but having a game on top of that
Mhm.
is like icing on the cake, brother.
Yeah, like a case in point, the home opener. You know, yes, everybody's excited for the game, Monday Night Football against a division rival.
Yes.
But everybody I talk to are talking about all the parties beforehand.
Yes.
You know, because all the Raider Nation is going to be in the house. Everybody's going to be celebrating, having a good time. So, you know, it is definitely going to be a party.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's one of the biggest memories that we're going to create that particular weekend.
Yes. It's almost like we've had opening days, you know, from doing the March to Victory, all that kind of stuff. But it's those parties, those Saturday night parties or those Sunday night parties that kind of set the tone for that next day.
Yeah.
This is almost like preparing to go to battle. I won't say war. Preparing to go to battle. But it's like you get in a zone.
Yes.
And there's a zone.
It is.
And collectively when we're together, it's like we ain't playing.
Not at all.
We're here
Not
for
at all.
business.
Yes, sir.
But it's all in fun.
It is.
Win
It
or
is.
lose,
Yep.
we don't hang our heads.
That's right.
We'll see the next game.
We're still here.
On to the next one.
Yes, sir. All right, Raider Nation. Before we go, Violator, let the Raider Nation know how they could find you, your social media tags, you know, where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing, because I know you're very busy.
Social media wise, X at Violator 57, Instagram, Mabry Wayne. Now, a lot of people spell it wrong, but you'll see my face. I'm just in a pair of glasses and a suit, like I'm going to church. But that's my Instagram. Snapchat, LinkedIn, TikTok. I think I'm on all those.
Okay.
But like I say, for these, just send me a message. I will get back with you. Trust me, because I'm looking for those.
Yes, sir.
And we can enjoy something from afar until we can do it like this.
Yes,
together.
sir. Hopefully, because obviously during the season, Violator is very busy. Maybe, in the off season or the bye week, maybe we can set something up. We could have a meetup and maybe even here.
Yes.
Bring the Raider Nation together, hang out, smoke some sticks.
I like that.
Talk some ball.
I like that.
Because
we're going to fill up wherever it is.
Yes,
whether
sir.
it's Bowes or here or wherever.
Anywhere.
Let's do that, brother.
Because it is definitely something that you have to experience. You have to understand how I'm feeling at this moment. This is, like I said.
We're feeling.
It's definitely a bucket list moment for myself.
It's special, brother.
Yes, sir.
Don't get no better than this,
Yes,
man.
sir. It doesn't. So, Raider Nation, don't forget to follow the Violator on all social media platforms. Look for him if you're going to go to any game in Vegas. Him and his wife carrying these beauties with them. $10 a pop. You can't go wrong. So, Raider Nation, don't forget also to like, subscribe, follow to the Stogie Nation. I also do a couple of other shows, which is the Raider Nation Roll Call and the Raider Nation's Weekly Wire with my boy Chris from Protect the Shield.
Gotcha.
We try to keep you informed with everything that goes on with the Raider Nation, and keep you entertained, keep you involved, and keep you with that fire that burns within us as Raider fans.
Definitely, brother. Definitely.
So, again, Violators, thank you for
pleasure,
taking
man.
of your time. Thank you for this great
Till the
stick.
next time.
Yes, sir.
Till the next
yes, sir.
time.
And remember, Raider Nation, everything that we do is for the nation, by the nation.
By the nation.
Peace.
Peace.
Ooh, run 'em out, run 'em out. We got the Raiders in the building and they about to shut it down. Silver and black up in the crowd. Raider Nation in the building and we getting loud. Ooh, run 'em out, run 'em out. We got the Raiders in the building and they about to shut it down. Silver and black up in the crowd. Raider Nation in the building.